Hi Earthlings, update. Okay, so I have got a big story to tell and not a lot of notes, but I want to start with my notes and then move on and try not to be so long. Oh, there goes my pencil. Now I'm going to start with another Bible story. Hope everyone had a good full moon in Aquarius. I had 3 dreams in the one night. Okay, so let us begin. So let us start with Jacob, because Jacob, so saith, changes his name to Israel. Or someone does, and we say now that it is Jacob. Now, okay, so where do I begin? So in the last, I don't know if I told the story on here or not, or if I was just talking about it on Facebook. YouTube. So the story goes that Isaac loved Esau, and Rebecca loved Jacob. And one day Esau was in the field and he saw Nimrod and also Nimrod's big guys that were with him, hunters, and he stalked and he killed Nimrod. He actually chopped off Nimrod's head, and that is how Nimrod died. Then he came bursting on back, and he said to Jacob, Jacob, give me some of that stew. I'm like dying of thirst, of hunger. And Jacob said, and he's told the story, obviously. He told the story that he'd killed Nimrod and he thought he was going to die and all that sort of stuff. And Jacob was like, oh, sweet as. Well, if you're going to die, sell me your birthright and I'll give you the porridge. And because he was hungry, he was like, sweet as, I'll sell you my birthright. Here, take the porridge. So anyway, later on when Isaac was dying, Jacob deceived his father and put these skins of goat skin on him to get the blessing that was due to be Esau's. Now, after he had done this, his mother says, I fear your brother's going to kill you. They were twins. Look, just shoot off to my brother Laban and stay there. Get married there, do the whole life thing there. So Laban lived in the area that is called Syria now. So Jacob went to, and Laban and Rebecca were called Aramean, and if I remember, let's see if I've got it right. Yes, there's sort of like a mix going on there. They were Aramean, or I don't know, because Perez, son of Judah and Tamar, one of the twins, twin brother of Zerah, his grandson was also Aram, which is like Aramean, Aram. Okay, so when Jacob was at the well, he saw Rachel coming with the flock, and he moved the capstone off for her by himself, and this usually took 3 men. And Rachel was like, boy, you're a strong guy. And he fell in love with Rachel's beauty. He kissed her and said, I have not a single nose ring nor bangles to give you. And Jacob wept, it says, Genesis 24:10, because he saw Rachel and he was like, oh my gosh, I'm in love with her already. This is the woman I want to marry, and found out that she was the daughter of Laban. And he was like, cuz, Also, wife, cuz wife, I want you to be my wife. So, then let's see what happened. And then, as we know, maybe I've got it over here. No, I haven't. But as we know, there was a trick, and Laban said that he would give Rachel after Jacob had worked 7 years for her. He worked 7 years, and when 7 years was up, he married Leah to him, and he was like, what do you want me to do? She's my oldest daughter. I give my oldest first. You can work for another 7 years, then I'll give you Rachel. Now, apparently, Jacob said, sweet as, it's on. And then Laban, he was like, but you've got to give me some sort of wages or something for the 7 years that I've worked. And so Laban said that he could have all the speckled and spotted and black ones in the flock, and it wasn't a lot. And he gave them, also Laban gave them to his sons to look after, and said, move that herd 3 days away from wherever Jacob is. Wherever Jacob goes, you make sure that those speckled, spotted, and black of the flock are 3 days away from him. So, and Jacob was left with the white goats. And Laban said, work for me another 7 years, and not only will you get Rachel, but also all the speckled and all the black and all the spotted goats shall be yours. So Jacob went straight back into using sympathetic magic, and he peeled off the bark to make the twigs speckled, and he put them into the goats' drinking water, and he staked them into the ground, and the speckled goats increased and dramatically over the next 6 years. And he used the fresh twigs of almond, poplar, and sycamore, it says. So the stronger of the flock, he made sure he put the sticks around them, and the feeble he did not. So all the feeble ones became the white ones, became Laban's ones, and all the stronger ones became Jacob's large flock. He had a great many, and he had female servants, and he had camels, and he had donkeys by the time of his marriage to Rachel. So he was a very, very wealthy man by the time of his marriage to Rachel. Now, so then he wanted to boot it and get out of there, because he was able to use his magic and get his own way with the herd. So Laban had gone to shear his sheep, and Rachel stole her father's household gods, it said. Jacob tricks Laban by not telling him they're all leaving, and after 10 days into their journey, Rachel still kept the gods hidden from everyone. Teraphim, they're called. They were consulted for divination, and now I get out my camera. Teraphim are human skulls covered in mud, wood, and gold. And yes, you did hear me correctly. And sadly, the story is something like the firstborn male is sacrificed and born, when it's born, and it becomes the teraphim, which is a form of divination. The spirit is locked to that skull, and they use it to divine. That's how they know stuff. And I just want to show you that some of these have been found, these skulls. And I'm just going to go as fast as I can. Here they are. So I may as well enlarge it a little bit there. Here's one that was found. And as you can see down there, it has its name. Terrafin, okay. So I'm just showing you the truth. And I was pretty upset about it. Look, we've got a picture of Rachel here. There she is, having a little chat to the Terrafin. Okay, so we know that this Terrafin business is used in the Crusades and also the Skull and Bones Society and all sorts of secret societies like to use them. And I've gone the wrong way. What have I got here? This is how they did it. Is that clear to you? I hope you can read that. Screenshot it and have a read. So, now, by the time, by these 7 years, there was already children born, to Leah and Jacob, and that was Reuben, Simon, Levi, and perhaps Judah. 4 of them were born. Yes, they were. And when Rachel became the wife of Jacob, she was like, right, he's mine now. He's not sleeping with you and all that sort of stuff. And then she couldn't get pregnant, so she gave her handmaiden Bilhah, and Bilhah had 2 children to Jacob. And then what happened was, young Genesis 30:14, Reuben finds mandrakes and brings them to his mother Leah. When Rachel saw them, she asked Leah to give them to her, and in return Leah requested that she forego her right to sleep with Jacob, and Rachel promised. Leah says to Jacob when he comes in, "You must come in to me, for I have hired you with my son's mandrakes." And straight up she conceived Ishkar, her 5th son, that same night. Now, the mandrake is from the deadly nightshade family. Oh, I have to start all over again. The root, deadly nightshade family, that's our potatoes, that's our tomatoes, that's our deadly nightshade. And the root is a hallucinogenic and a narcotic. Too much causes madness, but the right amount treats melancholy, and they use it for whatever. Aphrodisiac and all sorts of things they say it's for. Now, I do have some mandrakes here. Let us show them. As you can see, mandrakes look, they kind of look ghoulish, don't they? This one's a bit bright, but he's got a face as well. Kind of reminds me of that slug thing in, that's his face I'm showing you there. in Star Wars. And not all of them come out looking like people. So, but obviously those ones that young Reuben found pleased. This one looks like a pregnant mama with big breasts. You see what I'm saying? It's synthetic magic. But some of them just look like this. You're not really seeing a lot there. You're going to have to really separate them to make something out of that. But oh my gosh, these two, eh? Okay, what have I got? And while Rachel was mucking around with the mandrakes and the teraphim, Leah went on to have Zebulun and Dinah before Rachel finally conceived. Now, at some point when Dinah obviously is older, let us go here. In the Bible tells us that the son of Hamor, the Hivite, his name was Shechem, he fell in love with Dinah. Okay, it says, his soul straightly clave unto Dinah, daughter of Jacob, and he loved the damsel, and spoke tenderly to her. So Shechem asked his father to obtain Dinah for him in a marriage union. Hamor said to Jacob, make marriage between our people, giving your daughters to us, taking ours for yourselves, and the land shall be open to you. But the sons of Jacob, and we're talking here specifically of Reuben, Simon, and Levi, said they would accept if the men were circumcised. So they did. And on the third day, when they were sore, Simon and Levi and their crew came upon the city unawares and killed all the males and slew Hamor and Shechem and took Dinah out of Shechem's house. And they plundered all the wealth of the city and the fields, and they took the children and their wives. Now, apparently this is why Reuben and Simon and Levi were disinherited from Judah's fortune. Jacob's fortune, sorry. And no, sorry, Simon and Levi were disinherited because of that. And Reuben was disinherited because he slept with Bilhah, Jacob's concubine, also Rachel's concubine, who had 2 children to Jacob. So there's something going on there, and Jacob was like, right, that's it, you're not going to be blessed. So that's according to how we are religiously taught. That's why Judah got all the stuff. Okay, so yeah. Now they said that. Now the preachers or the reverends or whatever will tell you that Dinah was raped, but I don't actually believe that that's the case. If he loved the damsel and spoke tenderly to her and asked for her hand in marriage and was given in marriage. Now, that is all I've got on my notes that I wanted to share. Deception, because there's a lot of deceiving that went on, and also I learned a lot about the Jesuits, and so should you. And I'm going to put some things in the comment section about them. Also, there was this reverend, and he was talking, and he said something that really, sort of like, oh, and that is, the Bible can be a rod and a staff, and it also can be a snake. The Bible can be a rod and a staff, and also a snake, and that is how the priests, the reverends, the fathers, and so forth use the book. I've got a lot I want to get through. I hope I do, because a lot is going on. Oh dear. And I want everybody to sort of like, get on the same page as me as fast as possible. I know it's not going to be easy. I'm not asking for it to be. I'm just asking that it does happen. Because we've got some big things going on right now. Now, as I told you before, I'm a believer in time travelers, and you would have seen that in previous videos that I have mentioned it and shared things with you about that. Oh, what have I got there? I just want to show you the Jesuit Act in 1594, and this is the Parliament logo of England. Isn't that interesting? At the time, so oh goodness me, I feel that I'll talk about that in another one. I have so many things, and I want to keep on just this a very small subject, try my best to kind of keep it on one subject for this one, and it's about deception, war, and destruction. So it's quite a big title, isn't it? So sad that it almost hurt my eyes. And that's part of the story. Goodness me, it is such a long story. I've tried my best to keep it simple. I have. And where am I going to start? So much to do. I might have to break it into two because it looks like I've put too much information for tonight. We'll see how we go. Yep, I was saving that for another one. There's a movie that I love so much. It's called Stardust. And the story of the movie is that a star got hit by a necklace and exploded and became a falling star as it shot down to earth and had that tail behind it. I think the tail's important to notice there. And I think this is quite good. Now I'm going to jump to the Gobi Desert. No, is it like Taklamakan Basin? And I want to show you this is the basin. Now I can see this as like something came bursting along here, Gobi Desert, crash, and pushed the whole mountain range. And then this big overspill came flooding out of it like this. And this big mountain range pushed because something went kapow in that part. So to show it on the globe Earth, what we see, try not to make the thing go on, is this massive push. And that is India. That is the Himalayas. And that is the big something that hit. And I'm going to straight up say that it's like a spaceship, and it's probably a bunch of time travelers, and they probably crashed. So there was a war, and it was a very major war. Now, to imagine the impact site, I need my pencil again, being a craft loaded up with people, red-haired people, white skin people, red-haired, white skin people. And the deserts were created because a really big fire happened. We have India, we have Pakistan, we have Afghanistan. There is a lot of people linked in. Now, on here, I've got two travel things that happened. And the red one is the Silk Road. And as you can see, we have this curve here, which is the Himalaya. So we've got the desert there, and that's part of the Silk Road. So the Silk Road this way and this way trade. And then we've got all this going on. And in this area here, we have got the Indus Valley, which brought the people up into Persia and all around that area as well. So we got some white people, we got some brown people. Now, in the middle of this desert, they found these ancient graves, and those have oars and boats, and inside the boats are mummies. In the middle of the desert, they've put themselves in boats and mummies. And as you can see, the oar there, the black oar, it's like a canoe oar, isn't it? It's very interesting. And these, of course, are the mummies. They preserved well because of the heat of the desert. And here they are. This is what they were like. Okay. So they really loved their hats, and they had some great ones. Two things would have been going on in the desert: extreme heat and extreme cold. Now, it's hard to say if they themselves caused the climate change, but they definitely impacted it. in the Taklamakan Desert, there are rivers. And it would have been, like they would have been trying to put the craft down in a safe place, but it would have hit hard. So here's the desert itself, and you can see it's got like a small tail coming off, like imagine the comet tail. But I'm thinking it wasn't a comet, right? And here are the rivers. So they were on their little boats, and then they used to canoe up and down in there 5,000 years ago. Now, they built small sort of like civilizations, but I want to show you Himalayas, and then we've got this mountain range here. It's almost like a circle, isn't it? The push was so great. It was a huge, giant, absolute giant craft. This is the gravity anomaly. It's got a gravitational anomaly. And these guys, these Chinese guys, they reckon they found themselves a meteorite. Now, I swear to you, it looks like it's got an eye, excuse me, and a mouth and teeth. I'm literally drawing all over my camera. You see it? Look at that creature. Wonder what it was. Anyway, the Taklamakan Desert is incredible because look, it's just maxed out with poplar trees. Aren't they beautiful? And it's just the contrast of it is just gorgeous. I've got a lot of photos of it, but I want to move on. So they grow, of course, the poplar down there by the river. And in the water, it just fascinates me. I've got to show you this one as well because it's just gorgeous. Okay, so there's a lot of photos, alright? There's a lot of trees around there. Oh, okay, I'll show you this one too. Now, this is the area where the camel has two humps. Also, I discovered that the tiger, which is called Siberian tiger, was moved to India from that area down to India. So that's an interesting thing. This is in Gobi Desert. As you saw, Gobi is like in the tail part before the actual full round comet part. And Gobi was also, this is a place hotel where you can go and stay right now in the middle of the desert. But back in the day, here's the Gobi in the yellow, I think. Yep. Taklamakan and Gobi. Now, in the Silk Road period, this is my favourite for showing the curve. Look at it. It is just like a circle, is it not? It's coming around like that. And this is the land of India here. Coming in. China. Right, so I'm trying to figure out the directional thrust of the spaceship. This is a time traveling machine, and this is a cute little one here of the railway system that Putin would love to do, which goes from here and through Russia, China, over. Oh, I've got it wrong. From America over to China, Russia, and across. Right? Is that right? Yeah, that one. And because, you know, Russia and America are right beside each other, as you know. They've got the Bering Strait. And this is a cool one. This is to show you, if we imagine that we were in the spaceship and we crashed, and we've like crashed in this area here, and look, we've got China, we've got India, we've got coming over here, we've got Pakistan, we've got Iran, we've got Egypt, we've got Saudi Arabia, got it all there, you see. And of course we've got the steppe people, the steppe, which were our Scythians, also redheads. Okay, and that's quite a lot of a picture. Oh, I beg my pardon. In Mongolia, see how the mountains are just like skinny like that. That is the Gobi. That snow on top freaking fascinates me. Now, of course, in this beautiful ancient time, they had a lot of really nice buildings, castles, remember? Hopefully we've built our, this one is called Garakota. Garakota, the city of the Gobi Desert. Now, we don't know how it is destroyed. Garakota was Geraticus, but Karokoto, what a beautiful name. There's a couple of beautiful names I've found. Look at that, isn't it amazing? And it took a blast. You can see that it's almost cleared out on the inside, and it's got a massive sand on the out. Outer walls. And now what we're looking at here, what I was looking at here is DNA, the ancestry of people. And as we know, the Mongolians came over to America and they became what is now called the American Indians. It's saying that the Mongolians were a combination of the Chinese and the Taklamakan desert people, area people. So that is why Genghis Khan had red hair. And so this is the migration that's happened. As you can see, it's spread out from that area and it goes down into Africa. Yes, there are already African people. They are Negroid, a different blood line. But what I'm looking at here is the Turkmenistan bloodline. The Taklamakan. So we can imagine it was a giant spaceship. Okay. Now along the Himalayas, we have a few mountains, and one of these mountains is called Mount Kailash. And Kailash is really, really important to the Hindus, to the Jains, to the Chinese, to the Buddhists, to the Tibetans. It's a very special mountain. It's the mountain of Lord Shiva. And here it is. I'm starting good. So here we have this kind of different, all right, looking thing going on here. Now, it's really difficult because sometimes people muck it around and it's hard to get clarity. But it looks like they got some carvings way up there. Now, nobody's allowed to climb this mountain, okay? It's sacred to Lord Shiva. And because of its sacredness, there's got some other stuff going on. It's got magnetic and anomalies going on there as well. See that? It's interesting, isn't it? The thing is, you can't get a clarity of it. Now, so what I'm saying is it reminds me of this sort of Indian stuff. Now, in the Taklamakan Desert is the lost kingdom of Lulan. Lulan is a beautiful sounding Chinese name. There's some rivers that are going around there. Lulan was a beautiful, amazing, incredible city, urbanization. Look at it. Isn't that just incredible? Something happened to it and it was destroyed. Now, what happened, I believe, was a nuclear war. And I believe I'm coming to the fact that there's a bunch of people, Jesuits, who have a bunch of weapons. They've had them since the Roman times. That's why they are the Roman Catholic assassins. Hopefully that's clear. That didn't look too good, did it? And these guys got given these devices by, I believe, time travelers. What are time travelers? Well, I feel that time travelers are us. Here's a lowland mummy right here. American Indian looking, also reminds me of Mongol, and this is what she would look like if she was alive. Portrait. And some of them look like this. Just gorgeous. Okie doke, so I'm trying to tell you something, and I'm going to put in the comment section a video about the Alien 1964, talking to an alien. Now this is lowland ruins. What the hell devastated it like that? That's why I think nuclear, you see. So here is an artist's drawing of Lulan. This is it. That was in an ancient time. Now this is what the Silk Road used to look like, and oh, do I get a feeling of that. This is lowland. Silk Road days. And this is lowland woman from one of the tombs, and her beautiful headdress, and as you can see, they love to wear their beautiful hats. was amazing. A 3,800-year-old. They were making stuff like this, made out of agate. Just gorgeous. Now the Sintasha people are the ones that I'm saying where the Thracian. I'm sorry, I get it wrong. It's just, it's the Reds, right? Now the Thracians, they're the ones who put the wheels on the chariot. So they used to live in roundhouses like this. The wheel was their thing. They've got an axle in the centre there as well, haven't they? And these are the Reds, the red-haired people. This is Archeum Ural. Now Ural starts with UR like and all those other places as well. They're calling it the chakra city of Sintasha Archeum. Now that could be like a UFO as well, couldn't it? So if your spacecraft was circular, so saith. And this is the people that I'm describing to you. Makes a lot of sense that they used the circle. And now I'm back at Kailash Mountain, and you can see that they use the Buddha a lot, Lord Shiva, because look at this snow. That's like the symbol. And a few people have photographed it. At different times, on different excursions, different people. So we see that Lord Shiva, it could be the Om also. It can be the three-pronged with his drum. Yeah, if you look at it like that. I mean, it's a bit crooked. Oops. But it gives you the idea that he's got his three prongs and he's got his drum tied to it. And heaps of people see Lord Shiva on the mountain, and so do I. And these are just different people's photographs. Why did I show you that one? What I want to show you. Oh, yeah. And all over the mountain, Lord Shiva's mountain, people can see faces, and there's a lot of faces going on here. Okay. Now, first of all, when I looked at this Google image aerial photo, I was like, what on earth am I looking at? And now I think I know. So I noticed there's a lot of this going on too. I was like, what is this? Is this roots of a giant tree? Is this a stairway? Is this, I was trying to put it together in my mind. What is going on here? And I'm going to share my theory with you. Those are gigantic, okay? They're not small. And I do believe that what we're looking at is the tunnel systems. And here's a real cool shadow showing a face. Looks like someone laughing, doesn't it? Now, in the Baltic Sea there's an anomaly. And it's this. See those skid marks? Those came screaming to a screaming halt. And in the Baltic Sea is where we get our Nordic people from. Oh, surrounding the Baltic, we've got our Sweden and our Finland and things. And I know that my ancestor is Finn the Great because he came to me and told me so. I wanted to know something about my ancestors, and this man is, Finn the Great is here. It's pretty impressive. So I'm like, okay, Finn the Great. See those skid marks? So this craft hit the skids. It has an 1,000-foot-long skid mark. It's been researched by heaps of people. And it's quite big. Hopefully you can screenshot that, or you can look it up yourself and you can find out how big it is, because I'm trying to go as fast as possible because I'm trying to explain something to everyone. Now, this one, poor thing, hit the ground too, but when it hit the ground, first of all, it went sideways, smashed sideways through one thing to land in another. It cut this ridge. It was coming in to hit the water, probably okay, do you understand? And this is the region of the Baltic Sea, and I will enlarge that. The little red dot is where it was found, okay? In the Baltic Sea. And if you look, oops, I haven't got it yet. Oh dear. We've got Finland, we've got Estonia, we've got Latvia, Lithuania, Sweden. All right, surrounding. So everybody got out the ship. They survived. All the survivors, and out they went. They probably started off together as survivors. They wouldn't have just shot off and gone by yourself, unless something was chasing you and you had to hide and all that sort of stuff like that. Back to Mount Kailash for the answer to how to hide. And also Mount Kailash, it says it's Shambhala, right? But we're at the Baltic at the moment. And it did grab a lot of earth underneath it. You see there? And this is Peter Lindbergh was the man who discovered it. He discovered it on his sonar. Okay, and the Nordic people, so, right? So we've got a new race of people here, and they were looking like that. And I will quickly just show you this one. My mother was a blondie as well. She's been blonde all her life. She's a natural blonde. And of course they are, well, Scandinavian, she said their ancestry came back as. I'm just going to show this. I don't want to say it out loud because this is how I got banned off Facebook. And I just pray that that is clear and you can see. So, hope you know that deep state is the same. So the Jesuits were up and running, they're doing all this shit, and since the 1700s, or the 1500s, I think, sorry. I think it was James the First kicked them out of England back in his day as well. Anyway, what have I got? This mandrake root is in a museum and it looks like a person eating a fish. Literally crazy. Oh, well, I forgot to show you something. Damn it. Did I photograph it or not? More words. Oh, I'm showing these. I'm on Mount Hermon now. That's where the angels came down, and feel that block. Feel. Look at the size of that block. Big guys. So I found some photographs of Mount Hermon, which is where the angels descended. So who are the angels? You know, I mean, obviously they're strong. Because they mixed with woman and they made the woman gave birth to giants, didn't they? Some big blocks, you know, they fixed it up. First they used the big blocks and then the normal humans come along and try and repair it, you know. It's kind of like Jerusalem's wall, isn't it? And this is its view. So that's the view from Mount Hermon, and it's very, very expansive. And there's another image of that. So here's a shot showing the distance that it can see out. Quite a long way. You'd be able to spot the dust of someone coming, that's for sure. But somebody wrecked it. So the gods didn't stay there, or the angels, did they? No, because there was a big bad war. Now, this is a chakra, I think. Or is it a UFO? You know? It's hard to say. But this is the Vimanas. And the Vimanas were these flying machines that were huge cities. And I'll leave this for the next story. But anyway, it's a picture of Vimana in the middle and two photographs of structures like that Vimana actually flies. And that those two structures are sort of like showing it something. You know, they're sort of saying that it looks like this. But I want to say in the old days, you didn't really know. I mean, you could probably like get the information, but did you know? Now, these were found in Egypt in a tomb. There's a whole lot of them. They're all gold. This one's made of gold. There's a whole lot of these guys made of gold. It's an aeroplane, isn't it? But when we first saw it, nobody knew exactly what it was. And what have we got here? So this is the ancient nuclear war that happened. Literally flattened the shit out of everything in the Indus Valley. So there's a bunch of dead bodies there. I reckon it happened 8,000 years ago, okay? So 8,000 years ago, and then they went and discovered these bodies, and they still had radiation emitting off the area. Okay, so there's this lake. It's a full circle like this. This is in India. It's called Lona. So, Lowland, Lona. There's something going on, okay? And it can change colour just for a small part of the year. It changes colour. They're gonna like, oh, it's very tourist. We make it into a tourist spot. Tourists be excited to see this. And now I am back at the nuclear blast. And I've got quite a lot of photos of that. So I'm at the tomb of Seti the First. As you can see, a couple of airplanes in there, looks like a glider. And I wondered if there was like this ancient war in Africa, because I'm doing a study about the whole dang thing. I found this African man. It's in an Indian temple. But he looks African, and he is holding a gun. It is a gun. So I was wondering, oops, what's happened? That's better. This is Hiroshima before it was bombed. And after it was bombed, same building in the picture. So I'd like you to think about ancient nuclear weapons and the fact that they started using them again. Is there bad time travelers? Do they come forward with these weapons, advancements in technology, and they're like, hey bro, we'll give you an advancement, here's some tech, and we'll give you something that you want. I don't know what these deals are. And in exchange, you can do this bombing for us, or let us bomb. I don't know. All right. I know that there's a bunch of destroyers here. I call them fallen angels, and they're here to destroy the earth, and they're using mankind to do it. Now, we got a new post from Q, guys. So the last one was the 144,000 pack your bags, and now it's 16 days. Is it on the post? Yeah. The gateway opens. Okay, so we've got 16 days, and this big gateway is going to open, and that's from today, which is why I'm giving you this today. Why I'm uploading this today. Now, before I stop, sometimes people see things in temples and all that sort of stuff like that, and they're like, oh yeah, that's, Ganesh, and he is an elephant. And he was a person, and now he is a person still, but he's got an elephant head. Okay. See, his eyes are looking straight forward as well, and his ears are quite small, aren't they? And it always seems kind of weird. But anyway, here's a kind of a good seated position as well. And, what do you think? Are we talking about jet pilot? So maybe Lord Shiva's son Ganesh was a pilot. I don't know. So a Texan-based investment company, Austin Private Wealth, came under scrutiny because just before the failed assassination attempt of Trump, the company dropped 12 million shares of Trump Media Technology Group, attributing, and they say it's a clerical error, but we know that they were trying to crash the market or something. I don't know what they're trying to do. Okay, so I'm back at Kailash again. Kailash. Now, aside from everything Kailash orientated, what's that? And not only what that, but yeah, what that? If you ask me, it looks like a pyramid. So there's this building or a structure. It looks like a mountain. Everyone like mountains it, but it's not. Again, it's difficult to find a lot of photos with it in. And as we can see, Mount Kailash took a hit. And I think there was a chakra or something. Okay? Big thing like, and then split it. Tried to break it. Because that took a hit. I mean, it's just out of sight by that wall. There it is again. The wall is quite skinny. It appears skinny. Here's the whole valley. As you can see, it looks structured. I can see a structure, and this is structure going on, and here's our other structure. I don't need that, but you know, this is igloo-ish, isn't it? So straight away I'm like, what is this? Is that like a tunnel? It fascinates the crap out of me. As you know, this is the hats that the Jesuits wear, by the way. They're usually it says the Jesuit code. This one is like that set the world on fire, but the Jesuit code is like infiltrate with the Jews, be a Jew. Infiltrate with the atheists, be an atheist. The whatever. Get in there and be them. Be them. You know, more human than the human song. Got another one of the pilot here. And I just get the feeling, you know, that what we're looking at, those could be, when you're looking at a statue. Oh, I can see it is an elephant. Those are his small ears, and that is his trunk. And then you've got the story, you see. So, today's news on Google. This art is from 2500 BC, so we're talking 4,000 years old. And what we can say is they were very, very skilled in their artistry. They weren't primitive. And this is Mount Kailash, Kailash. And I didn't know, but would you look at this? Would you look at that? It's got another one of those there. And there's something going on with that as well, and that's the third one we've seen. And what are we looking at? Are we looking at a tunnel system? Here. Vast. And this is from a grave in Egypt, but it's got the little steps and it's got like the little igloo front. You can just make that igloo front a bit more. You know what I'm thinking? I'm thinking it's the way home, And I just wanted to add this. I'd like to do it myself, but this is a man. He's like, yeah, well, what we do is we pull this out here and then we open it up like that, and there's our windows, and we head on down, and it's tricked to make it look just like a rock, you see. So, I was a follower. I wanted RFK to rule, be the winner for the people. But now he's joined with everybody. And got a Q post here. November the 3rd. I don't know if that's when your elections is, but this post was made in 2017, I think. It's on it. Yeah. So in 2017, they say this. Oh, I don't know if that's clear or not. But what Q says is, oh, this is when I was looking up. Here we are. Made it big for you guys. It happened when I was checking out to see if there was anything with the name Vance on it. Turned out there is. November 3rd, okay? Yeah, I don't know. That's a Trump tweet back in the day when he was able to use Twitter, I think it was. Yes, this is happening. Oh, what have I got there? I've got a funny feeling that this was before there was such a thing as X. But check out what's inside that red box there. Screenshot that if you want. So, my running theory at the moment... Oh, I haven't finished. Check out what these guys are. Okay. The Zurich Gnomes. And it's all to do with banking. And they call themselves the Zurich Gnomes. Hopefully you all know what that means. That little symbol there. This is Kalki. Could be Christ, but it's actually Kalki. And that's an amazing story, and I love that story. Pardon me, and I've gone back to another image of Kailash. So I looked it up, and do you know there's a lot of hot pools around there, hot springs. There always is around the snow. And also I found out there are 4 rivers that run from Kailash. And they do go first out from Kailash area into 4 directions. That's very interesting as well, isn't it? And of course I'm on this caves. What are the caves systems like and all this stuff, and there might be quite a lot. But oh, I did put it on there. I mean, God, that looks awful, doesn't it? It looks like a weapon. Apparently a bunch of those are getting sent right now over to Israel. The Americans want to use that against Iran because they're part of the destroyers at the moment. So I've really enjoyed showing and sharing with you all that, and I hope that it hasn't been too long, and I wish you all the best, the super very best. And now hopefully we've all built our really good fortress on the top of our plateau, and that is our safe place in our mind. All right, we're going to need it, and we've got next year to get through yet. And if we can keep ourselves up and running this year, next year, then we've fortified ourselves for the future, and that is the goal. Now, I'm sending my love to you through the screen, and I hope you receive it, and I'm wishing everyone a well, and we will catch up soon. Maybe new moon, maybe full moon, I'm not sure. I didn't mean to be so long. I'm deep in study, so ka kite.